Hi everyone, I'm Marlow Felton.
I'm sidekick.
And here's my sidekick, Chris Felton. He's very lively. Anyway, so we are so excited to share with you the launch of our 7-day challenge. So we decided to launch this this coming week. So the 18th through the 24th is the 7-day challenge. So we're here with you today to tell you why it would be important for you to do it and how it works so that you can join us. And we're going to do it with you.
Yes, we are.
So what the 7-day challenge is basically what we recommend people do if they're struggling financially and really want to jumpstart a financial transformation. It's the best way that we know how to do that because it really helps for you to shift mentally and to uncover some wasted dollars. And basically how it works is every single day, you're going to write down everything that you spend money on. And you're also going to write down what you don't spend money on. So this is going to raise your awareness. So maybe you're getting ready to spend money on something and you stop yourself because you know you're taking the 7-day challenge, right? And so then you're going to write that down. So you didn't buy the pack of gum or the Starbucks or the whatever it is, and you're going to write that down. And so each day you're going to total what you spent and what you didn't spend, and then at the end of the week, you're going to have a total for that as well.
Wow.
He acts like this is,
true.
I have. And actually, if you think 7 days is a challenge, Chris and I actually did it for a solid year.
Yep.
And so I would challenge anyone to do that because it was extremely powerful. 7 days, most people can wrap their heads around 7 days, right? You can do a lot of things for 7 days except hold your breath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I've been having a lot of conversations with people that are struggling around money, and one of the problems is they get so far into the future and they get in this kind of doomsday scenario, or and they start thinking out months and years and how am I going to do it, and they get trapped in this kind of this negative loop in their brain about how it's going to happen. And so the cool part about 7 days is, I think anybody can do anything for 7 days, and just focus on that. And the way you increase your confidence around anything, around money, health, or anything is, you make a commitment and you keep a commitment. And if you can make a small 7-day commitment like this, it's not that big a deal. We're not asking you to go, detonate bombs in the Middle East or anything, right? It's pretty simple. But that awareness of that moment of spending, that was a big one for me. Like, when Marlow would throw budgets in front of me, that never really worked for me. But it was just understanding that, until you start managing the money you have now well, you'll see no more money. Like, your life's not going to improve. And so 7 days is super, super doable, and we're doing it.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that could happen here. And what we want to encourage you to do is to redirect those dollars. So when you total at the end of the week that, hey, it was $50, $100, it doesn't matter what the number is, that if you were going to spend that money but you didn't, the key is redirecting those dollars into savings. Because what you're doing is you're replacing something that doesn't add value to something that does add value. So what's more important? The temporary satisfaction of a Starbucks latte, as an example.
It's pretty good.
Or your long-term goals and dreams, right? Your long-term financial stability. So it's an exercise in making these shifts and creating new habits. And after a year of Chris and I doing this, we created some amazing new habits, didn't we? Tell them about your Quiznos habit you had there, Trigger.
Oh, I was just telling people
Spendosaurus.
Well, no, my big thing was I stopped buying you flowers.
He's joking. He's totally joking. Because, you might think I'm a weirdo when I tell you this, but I'm like, don't ever buy me flowers. Seriously? Like, all I see are dollar bills wilting. like, honey, it's a nice gesture. So he has never, I don't think
It's my habit of...
I think maybe once you bought me flowers. You did. You one time in our entire
$80 going.
12-year relationship.
It's like $80 going.
Yeah, going.
Anyway, everyone's gonna stop watching now.
They're like, wow, the Feltons are big downers. No flowers.
No, I mean it was Quiznos. It was, I mean, we're entrepreneurs. It was, you know, business lunches. I mean we had an American Express card, right? So, I pay it off every month. You know, no big deal. So it was. Oh my God, I can't remember what year it was, but I remember meeting with the CPA, and American Express creates that summary every year.
Oh, and
right?
like Quiznos was the biggest pie chart?
I mean, it wasn't just Quiznos, but it was like
restaurants,
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, all, you know, justified under the guise of
it's a business
expense, right? And I see entrepreneurs all the time that like, well, yeah, it's just a business expense. Well, it's, you know, it's Chris and Marlow Inc., man. It's the business, it's the home. So, I mean, it wasn't just Quiznos. It was that whole, like, just, it's a write-off. You know, like, that sounds sexy. It's a business write-off. So basically, yeah, I'm spending $1 to save 30 cents.
Right.
Like, pretty smart here, recovered CPA, but no, I mean, and just also, you know, being in a business where we serve clients and all that, you know, thinking that's, I mean, the meals and all that stuff are nice, but they don't really care. I mean, you know, so I switched it to more, you know, coffees. I mean, I had one of my best clients met with her this week, and it was, you know, it was a $2 coffee. It wasn't a, you know, $50 lunch, and so
right.
So that was a big awakening for me.
Yeah, and I actually lost a couple pounds that I needed to lose years ago because I had this.
You were so fat.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't, but actually, apparently I needed to lose at least a couple of pounds because I did. But I had this Starbucks habit, you know, the latte with the pastry, and so that was my weekly addiction. It was my afternoon pickup or my late morning pickup that I got addicted to, and I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore because I was wasting, like $30 to $40 a week on just that one habit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't adding value to my life. It was only adding extra pounds to my life, apparently, based on results. And so I stopped that, and so it added more value to my life and more money redirected to my bottom line. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, I'm Marlow Felton, and this is Chris Felton, my husband.
Hi.
My adorable husband that used to be a spender, and now he's a big-time saver. We are big-time savers, and we're here launching our 7-day challenge. So what you're going to want to do is stay close to Facebook or Instagram. We're also on Instagram at Couples Money. You can just go find us there at Couples Money on Instagram. But we're going to, each day, we're going to share with you what we've done, what we've saved money on, and encourage you to follow the 7-day challenge along with us. It's what we recommend for people that want to start a financial transformation. It really helps to jumpstart that financial transformation. And Chris and I did it for a solid year, just so you know. So 7 days is a piece of cake in comparison to what we did. But if anybody wants to go and do it for a year, it will dramatically change your life. I promise you, because it did for us.
Yep.
So what you're going to do, just to recap how it works, each day you're going to write down everything that you spend money on, and then what you'll see will happen is you're going to be more consciously aware of what you're spending money on. So you probably will not spend money on something because you know you have to write it down. So there's also going to be another list of all the things you don't spend money on.
Yep.
So maybe it's a trip to the convenience store to get the Gatorade or the coffee or the gum or the gum. That's you. Yeah, I'm on to you. I see the credit card bill.
Altoids.
Oh, is it Altoids that you're buying?
Altoids,
okay. I'm like, I see these like $1.70 at the convenience store. I'm on to you, Felton.
No Altoids for 7 days.
No, he's cutting out Altoids for 7 days.
That's huge.
He thought I didn't notice, but I'm totally on to him.
She's control freak.
Anyway, so you're gonna write down everything you spend money on and everything you don't spend money on. So each day you're gonna have a total of these 2 items, and then at the end of the week, you're gonna have a total for the week. So the key is redirecting the dollars that you don't spend the money, the things you don't spend the money on. I don't care if it's $50, $20, whatever the amount is. The key is redirecting those things that don't add value to your life to something that does add value to your life.
And open up a savings account.
Yeah, you have to open up a savings account in order to do that.
Open up a robo-advisor account.
Right, anything.
Something online.
Yeah,
easy.
but what you could also see during this process is that you're going to create some new habits, and like we did. I decided the latte with the pastry wasn't that important. And also you can go back at the end of the week, and this is a powerful lesson too, and to utilize this to take it a step further is at the end of the week, go back and look at all the things that you spent money on and determine, is that really something that I need to do every week or every day or whatever it is, and see if any of those items are negotiable. So there's the negotiable and the non-negotiable items. So for example, for me, eating healthy. Flowers are definitely negogible. I don't feel they're necessary. Maybe I'm
Some
strange.
of you women are gonna watch this.
Yes, if for all you
pissed.
women out there, please don't
get
be
over
mad
the
at
flowers.
me. Yeah.
Anyway,
I see wilted dollar bills when I see flowers. So anyway, so look at your list at the end of the week and say, what is a negotiable expense and what is non-negotiable. So I like to eat healthy. So for me, making sure that I'm buying, good groceries, buying good wholesome food at the grocery store. I'm not willing to give that up because that's our health. And so that's important to me. Yeah. So, but then, it's the Altoids at the convenience store, the Gatorade, the Slurpee, or whatever.
Bulletproof coffee is non-negotiable.
It is non-negotiable. We love bulletproof coffee.
And they don't pay us yet.
They don't.
We keep talking about it.
But so anyway, so then you're going to look at that and say, is there something else I could really beef up this savings, this other column, the money I'm not spending, that I could create some new habits with, redirect those dollars into something that's valuable. So really looking at and uncovering those things you might be spending money on unconsciously every single week that you're not aware of. And that's really the power of this exercise, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably a broken record. I say this every week. The people that struggle with money, they think they're waiting for some big thing to show up in their life that's gonna straighten out everything. I mean, once I get paid this, or once I get the raise, or once then I'm gonna get my stuff together, right? And that's not how it works. It's you got to develop, that's our whole theme is inside out, everything's inside out. And most people live this outside in approach to life that, they're waiting for their proverbial ship to come in, or they're waiting to get lucky, or, whatever. And so the connection for me was that was a bad story that I had let run my whole life, and it didn't matter, my first job was 26 grand a year, right? And by the time I left that job and started my entrepreneurial career, I was making infinitely more than that. And then my entrepreneurial career returned, a lot more than that. But nothing was changing because the muscles and the habits and the beliefs and all that stuff. So, it's more than just some 7-day little deal here. It's like, if you want to change, and also, you don't have to be sick to get better, right? So, we don't necessarily have to do this.
Right.
We want to because it's time for us to level up and go to a whole new level. And so, so it's just attitude's everything, and that sounds like a little cliche, but
right.
The way we approached our first 7 days in the first year, and it was like, no, this is the time I'm going to change my life. I mean, who knows? I mean, you know, we've sat through and had challenges given to us, and we've watched a mass of people like go, oh, it's just whatever. You know, they don't come into it with enthusiasm and excitement, and their life doesn't change. Where, you know, at times I've had that attitude, but at other times I'm like, no, like the next 7 days could like change the whole deal for me. And you roll in with that kind of mentality, and then this could be one of those turning points where you're like, man, I remember those two clowns on
on Facebook.
That dude and his wife, and they talked about this 7-day challenge, and I just didn't look at it as kind of like ho hum. I'm actually like, you know what, I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna start. And anything you want to do and change in your life, I mean, there's a 7-day period. So, you know, that's why it's Marlow's idea, by the way, as most of all this stuff is. And so that's the way you got to look at it, is that. And so once we started fixing the small stuff, the bigger stuff showed up. Success is all about small things cared for.
Yeah. Well, and honey, don't tell them it's all my ideas, in case I come up with a stupid idea and I can blame it on you. Anyway,
she cracks herself up.
I know, I cracked myself up. So just to recap, you know, Chris said we don't really need to take the 7-day challenge, but we are going to take the 7-day challenge with you. And I'll tell you, it completely transformed our lives. We did it for a year, and you know, it's all about you know, creating new habits and strengthening your savings muscle, and really doing a check-in with what you're spending money on a daily basis, because those small leaks can add up. And sometimes we create these habits where we're not even consciously aware that we're drifting so far off course. And, you know, the latte habit turns into the latte and the pastry and the, you know, and then it turns into all these other things. And we don't really realize how it snowballs. So it's kind of just like a check-in, a financial check-in, so to speak. And, you know, I would really encourage you all to take it seriously. Because it might seem really silly and like, how is that really going to help me? And trust me, if you do it religiously for 7 days, you'll start to see how it can make a difference. And so what I would like you to do, if you want to take the 7-day challenge, stay close to social media, because each day, starting Monday the 18th, we're going to start the 7-day challenge. So we'll check in each day with what we're doing, what we're saving money on, what we're not spending money on. And we're going to report that to you on Facebook and on Instagram. We're also on Instagram at Couples Money. It's just at Couples Money. You can find us there on Instagram too, and check in with us. So you're going to write down everything you spend money on and everything you don't spend money on, total it for the day and for the week. And at the end of the week, you're going to go back and you're going to determine if there's anything on that list that you did spend money on that you weren't aware of, that you can say, you know what, is this negotiable? Is this something that's not adding value to my life? And can it be redirected to adding value to my life, as in savings and, you know, future financial freedom, independence, and peace of mind, which is what we want for all of you. And that's the reason why we're doing this, not to be a pain in the rear. We kind
of want to be a pain in the rear.
Just a tiny little pain.
Just
in a loving sort of way to encourage you.
Got to know when to hug and when to kick.
Right.
So just kicking a little bit.
Yeah.
To get you to move forward.
Yeah. So this is your chance. And if you want to join the conversation in the forum, we are going to have a much more detailed, interactive conversation in our Couples Money Forum. You can click the link and find out a little bit more information about that if you want to join in on that conversation as well. So stay tuned this week for the 7-day challenge, and we want to hear from you. So feel free to post and comment and let us know what you're saving money on and what you're finding is happening to your habits, your spending habits and your savings habits during the 7-day challenge. So we wish you the best, and we'll talk to you next week.